Hello, ladies. What is up? This is gonna be the episode 2 of my build tour of my world that I've had for about a year, I guess. Um, yeah, I guess I'll show you guys around. My last video kind of got it was kind of messed up, so that's why I took it down as well. So I think for the first like main new addition, we got this building here. And this is supposed to be kind of a fabric making sort of area. So I've put in all of these, and we'll go to the basement later. That's very cool. But if we like come up here, look at this. This is supposed to be a meeting room. You know, anyone on the server can come over here, and I can have meetings with them. Beautiful views of the city. This is mostly unchanged from last video, except for that building there, that reservoir. We're gonna actually check that out in a sec. But first, let's go into the basement. This area is supposed to be, there's lots of items and stuff. Ooh, that's some good stuff. I forgot about that. This area, this is the actual basement. This is not a cave. This was hand mined. Probably took like 7 or 8 hours for the whole complex. But yeah, it gave me a lot of cobblestone. If we go down here, If we go down here, it's also hand mined. Go over here. This is where I get my moss. And here's a secret. I don't usually tell this people on the server, but if we come over here, you can come onto this come up this waterfall. The Lost Civilization. This I think is very cool. This I spent a lot of time on with my friend. There's a lot of lore stuff behind this. I'm not going to get too much into it, but all you guys need to know is that there was a king who was very rich in here, but let's say something happened. He's dead now. Anyways, I think that's kind of cool. Way out of here is kind of less interesting, I would say. You come up from the mob grinder over there, which is pretty basic. I'm not going to show that to you guys. And you just swim up through this, which connects into the deeper lake. So I think that's pretty cool. I got to get my horse. And while I look for him, I think I'd show you around the top of this, because I didn't really, the maintenance shaft isn't great. Oh, don't look inside. And free cam. And look at this. This is supposed to be kind of Japanese inspired, kind of like these. I mean, these aren't great examples of Japanese architecture, I'm sure, but this one is supposed to, have some pagoda elements, but still be more modern, or like an 1800s design. My horse is gone. It's just fully gone. Aha, there he is. That's a good segue, because now we're over here, which is kind of the first big area of Glasstown, which I would like to talk about. It's called Glasstown because my name is Glaska. If you didn't catch on, don't you leave me, horse. Yeah, so we got a pumpkin patch here. I made this because on Halloween I needed to get jack-o'-lanterns, and I decided to make something more permanent. This was very quickly nullified, so that's mostly aesthetic now. Also in here, I'm going to show you this because I think it's quite neat, and it's the only redstone I've done on the server. Moss Farm. It works, I'm pretty sure. I'm not going to test it because I don't want to break it. I haven't used this in a while. Yeah, but you gotta moss it up, flick the lever, they'll just produce bone meal and moss for you. It's a very good design. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's quite cool. This whole area is completely new. I'm very happy with this. Yeah, I didn't end up finishing the forest, but it's very immersive when you're in there. Like the 10 blocks that it is. Forests are ridiculously hard to make. If you ever see a YouTuber that makes a forest, that's like absurdly impressive. This took hours. This took genuinely like a month to get like this much stuff done. You can see the bottom is mostly done. I added like logs and stuff. They just make it look kind of crummy. But anyways, we can kind of come up here. And this is where I'll introduce something called the GRA. And the GRA, well, that's a very, very good thing, I would say, because Whoa, why is it speaking Chinese? It's made these lodges, right? Don't mind that these are all empty. Which have beds. So if you are ever added to the server, got a good place to sleep with a very nice view. Look at that. Wow, don't you run away, horse. Don't you run. Are we so for real? It's been literally 2 seconds. I had not cut once. Are we so for real? Okay. So continue down here. This is a very long path. Yeah. It sort of continues on for a pretty long time. This server was originally 720 by 720 blocks. It's been extended to about 1,250. Very specific, I know, but it allowed us to add new things that we thought were good. So this is the Southern Village. This is mostly unchanged from its very early origins. I was planning on making quite a large build here, but never truly came to fruition. But you have an iron farm here that is long defunct. I don't even know if it still works, but this is one of these chests has a bunch of shovels in them. That's where I get all my shovels. It's quite convenient. And continue on here. This area has a very beautiful landscape. See what I tried to clear this stuff out because I was going to make a build. Didn't end up happening, but happy nonetheless. Actually, I'm going to show you guys the map really quick, and that looks like this. This is a map mod. This is Arrow's map mod. It's very helpful for the server. These glitch sections are just because it's hosted on Hypixel. Happens. And if you can see, the GRA has made all of these roads. It connects, north, south, east, west. You can see the actual server is probably about this big. Yeah, I'd say maybe this big. And it has like all sorts of builds here. It's got, but you can see this is probably the most notable one. I think this was your last video. This is the trader farm, and I don't know if you've seen it yet, but it is a blight. It is awful. But I'm gonna quickly give you guys a little tour. This is a underground thing. This is a tunnel that goes underneath an entire mountain. This was made by my friend who was on the server for a very short amount of time. This is what killed him, right? Like he built this whole thing. It's very beautiful, right? He made this nice, gorgeous little area. Also, bridge, one of the best builds on the server as well. He made this nice area, right? These little houses, very dinky, very cute. Then decided he wanted to do something greater. That thing was that tunnel. That tunnel took so long, and it goes so far. I think a couple hundred blocks. He did it with like iron tools, and he got so burnt out that he never joined the server again. I think you'll probably want to see that, won't you? Well, I guess I can show you. Let's sneak over here, and we've got a couple buildings here. This area is quite nice because it's made for horses, right? Because this became the dominant form of transportation as there's not a stronghold within the server bounds. And the GRA, well, they have things. They have some things. So this is the Glassica Rose Association Mangros building. And this is, the primary building. This is where the secretary will sit when people will come in. It's also got some leftover blocks and a very good pickaxe that's better than my pickaxes right now. Go upstairs. Ooh, that looks nice. You go upstairs, right? And you see these are cartography tables. Everything's supposed to look functional. Like people work here every day. But it still has a very nice view of the city, which you can totally see here, and it looks quite nice. I love the grades here. I think they add a lot to the build. And if we come over here, this actually is supposed to be an extension. This is on the second floor of the garage, right? Which is where I parked my horse. If you come up here, more cartography tables. The reason for this being, this original building is much older, but they needed more land as the organization grew. So they purchased the top floor of their garage. And then I eventually made a stairwell in between them for ease of access. If you come up here, there's a quite nice view of the city. Needs trimming. Definitely needs trimming. And it's also got lots of leftover blocks. If you look over here, you can see those builds, which I'm not going to get into too much. They're mostly done. That's mostly the industrial area of the server. This was made by my brother. And then if you come over here, this is Russell's area. And I'm gonna check it out right now. But I'm gonna quickly go through what's here for the city. This area doesn't really have a name. These buildings I made just the other day, and I'm very happy with them. I tried to get like a French Mediterranean vibe. And that's another horse stable because I'm lazy. I should make a store there. This is not done by any means. That's unfortunate weather. These are the cliffs. This is also modern construction made in the last few days. That's the trader farm. This is a complete play on the server. You can see where the shadow lies because there's no more rain. Come over here, rain. Here, no rain. Here, rain. Here, no rain. I think you get the point. Anyway, this area has always been a very contentious spot, and everyone we all are thinking of removing this at some point, but the sheer scale of the build is so immense. Whoa, what the hell? That's really... Do I do that real quick? How did they get up there? Wait. Okay, that hasn't... I'm gonna do that later. That's quite neat. Anyways, horse stables. This is where this horse was bred, Houdini. My go-to horse after my horse Fish died. Very unfortunate. Fish was a real one, I think. That's what I would say. Can't leave him here. But I'm gonna quickly show you around here. I'm not really going to be doing an awful lot, but this is, this is my friend's area. The friend who did not quit. Very huge, very large, very good. Look down here. It's got stuff here. Come down here. There's a... not going to go down and show you that right now, but I can free cam over. This whole area is a massive complex, completely hand dug. Connects to villagers, and I didn't know there was a pumpkin farm here, but also a pumpkin farm apparently. Very helpful, but sadly disconnected from kind of a lot of the other places on the server. The GRA has not secured property rights here nearly as much as they should have. And this is probably the best room in the entire server. Just like the shades are so nice. Yeah, I guess if we come around, I'll show you the other half, I guess, or other quadrant of the server, as it's probably the main thing which exists now but did not exist before. Wow, no rain. It's insane. One of the most insane builds. Yes, this is sneaky. I don't know if you should call it a build or not, but venturing through the rain here, we can come around and kind of meander, run over this to this sort of jetty. This is actually based off of the Boston State House. I don't know if you guys know the Boston State House. It's the old state house in Boston. It's kind of self-explanatory. Interior's not done, but this is you can see another more of Boston elements because the city was a big inspiration for this area. This was made by my brother, of course. This is supposed to be their suburban railway. It was not finished, and it was intended to be a piston bolt, which is a radical new form of high-speed transit in the game. So that's quite neat. And also cool. It's time to sleep. You might be wondering where this is. This is one of my favorite builds. As if you look out the window, you can just see the edge of the city, but it completely feels like it is in the wilderness. It's not great terrain, but it's got a lot of character. That's still there from Halloween. Quite a long time ago now. If you look at the date this was made, It's not close to Halloween at all. Yeah, does it have a basement? I don't think I made a basement for this build. I had not. Barely. Whoa, what is that? Oh no, that's spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. Yeah, this is my summer house. Love this area. Very, very cool. This is a water tower, and you might think this is a whatchamacallit, a tutorial build. This is not a tutorial build. So my process for this build, and I'm very proud of it, but I was told that it does look like a tutorial build. What I did is I got a Pinterest picture because I use Pinterest, and I kind of looked at the general shape. And you see these arches; these are taken from there. A lot of the window, or a lot of the what the warped was taken there. That top room that where my bed is, that is my own. This bottom floor is mostly taken. The water tower was made by me. I was planning on extending this area more, but it did not end up actually happening because honestly, I like how this area is rural. It doesn't need a whole city, and I think that is strong on itself. But it's super nice to hang around. I guess it's getting to be summer, so I should hang out there a bit more. But we will see. We will see, indeed. And this is the big area. This is like industry. You can tell I didn't make it because it looks like very interesting. Houdini and I will check this out. So we got tree farm. We got automatic sorting, the same model that is at the other base because it was made by that guy as well. And then we've got oh my god, we've got a massive villager trading hall. That's the service entrance. This thing, we got a swamp. Probably the best build here. This is a tutorial build, I think, for the most part. But it is a hot air balloon, and it looks very nice, in my opinion. So yeah, it's super good. Adds a lot to the server, I think, just because you have that sign that there's other things to look at and look for when you're in the server. If you come in here, this is like a ship's hull, but we have builds and holes that are go on the ground to caves and stuff. Don't know what that's about, but this is the good moss farm, so that it's kind of made mine a bit obsolete, which is unfortunate. And lots of good stuff. I pillage and steal from here all the time, which is quite good and nice. I suppose I should. I mean, there's one more build I should show you guys, and then that'll probably be it. This one is probably the only build that is not connected to a road, which is very unfortunate. And requires a little bit of navigation. So I'm going to talk a bit about just the seed and why I haven't uploaded in a while in the meantime. So, I've kind of lost a bit of motivation. I made a video today. It didn't have audio. It kind of broke, which is unfortunate. So I removed it. But I don't know. I felt less motivated. I've had a bit more schoolwork. I've been able to manage it. I am a student, but it's kind of difficult to find motivation. And honestly, Minecraft and video games and stuff is not the sort of thing that people are like super, they're kind of looked down upon, I suppose. Not that you shouldn't let other people get in your head and like decide for you what is cool or interesting, because then you're not really living your life, But I still play the game and I still spend time on the server because I just think it's so beautiful, right? Like, look at this. It's just like you can stand at a point, and it's something that you can almost screenshot almost all the time. It's like a panorama. This is one of my favorite areas. If you come over here, you can even see this build, and I think there's something beautiful about that you can make this 3D like art even, and it's just there for you every day. I would say this is a forever world. It's a forever server, hopefully. So as long as Hypixel lasts, this server will hopefully last. And this is the last main build, which is the GRA Lodge. And I love this area because, once again, it feels so far away from everything, but it's still like very well made. I think, you know, the shaders I'm using kind of make the banners stand out a bit, but in actuality, this build is quite nice. And I love the use of banners in there. Some things aren't as panoramic on the server though, but I still think it looks grand. You know, it's something that's so large. Like that Wandering Trader farm is so massive. It's such a huge part of the server history that it can't be like written off. But you know, it's cool. It's neat. And I think it's about everything that I'd like to talk about. If anyone's, well, actually, probably not, but since no one's watching this video, I can like say whatever. So, my legal name and my social security number are